Hi guys, it's Alyssa from Planet Alyssa here with my weekly What I Sold on Etsy video. I put out these videos every week of the different vintage items that I sell in my Etsy shop, Planet Alyssa. My cat Autumn joining us for this video, at least part of it anyway. I do usually try to put out these videos every Friday, but I'm actually recording this one on a Saturday only because yesterday was a really gorgeous day, so I decided to play some hooky and play outside instead of stay inside and make a video for you. I'm happy to report that this week, sales-wise, things picked up a little from last week, which was pretty damn slow. From September 5th through September 11th, I sold 14 items in my Etsy shop with a total selling price of $176. And I'll show you what those items were and what each one sold for. Keep in mind that the selling price that you see is simply the price the buyer paid for the item. It does not include any shipping charges they paid. It also does not include any Etsy fees that I paid or any fees I paid to purchase the item. Even though it's only just the beginning of September, I've noticed that sales of Christmas items have been picking up. I sold 3 different Christmas things this week. Okay, let's take a look at what sold this week. The first thing that sold this week is this vintage party game called Slapstick. It sold for $20. I picked this up at an auction. Games can be a little bit tough to ship because of their size, but they do sell pretty well and they're easy to store. The first Christmas item that sold this week is this kitschy plastic Santa on a reindeer decoration. It sold for $8. I picked this up not too long ago at a garage sale, and this decoration was not in perfect condition. There was a broken leg on the reindeer that had been repaired, so if it hadn't been perfect, I probably could have gotten a little bit more for it. This green glass cat figurine sold for $8. I picked this up at a thrift store. Has kind of a cool, modern sort of look to it. These pretty funky looking vintage sunglasses sold for $40. I actually didn't purchase these, but inherited them. They apparently belong to my grandmother. Of course, I don't remember ever seeing her wearing something this cool. This green lampshade sold for $20. I picked this up at a thrift store. This was something I had listed for a little bit more money. I think I had it listed for $25. Someone offered me $20 on it. They were also buying another item, so I decided to accept that offer. So the same person who purchased that lampshade also purchased this vintage kitchen scrubber brush for $6. I picked this up at a thrift store as well. This vintage handkerchief, or hanky, sold for $6. I picked this up at a church rummage sale. This vintage desk pad sold for $20. I picked this up at an auction in a box lot. I should note this pad was not in perfect condition. It definitely had some wear to it, so if it was in better condition, it probably could have gone for more money. This was a set of vintage bottle brush trees in a variety of sizes and styles. I sold these for $20. I picked them up in a box lot at an auction. These are perfect for Christmas villages or other displays. Can't really tell from this picture, but this is a giant oversized birthday card which sold for $4. I picked this up at a thrift store, I believe. This vintage children's t-shirt sewing pattern also came from a thrift store and sold for $5. Another Christmas item that sold this week is this wooden Steinbach Christmas ornament. It sold for $5, and this was another item that was not in perfect condition. There were a couple of pieces that were damaged on it, so obviously if it had been better condition, it would have gone for more money. This mini photo album, or brag book if you prefer, sold for $8. It came in the original box, which you don't see in this picture, and this was something I picked up at a thrift store. And finally this week, another holiday decoration, although this one happens to be a little bit more in season. It's a pumpkin, a tissue paper honeycomb style pumpkin, which sold for $6. I believe I picked this up at a church rummage sale. I do like these honeycomb style decorations. They tend to sell pretty well and they fold up nicely so they can be shipped easily. Thank you everyone for watching. As I said, I do put out these videos every week. I also try to put out some other videos with helpful information for those of you who are looking to start an Etsy shop or just getting started selling vintage items on Etsy. Have a great week everyone, and hope you sell lots of items.